Hey guys, back with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my hypertrophy slash volume slash building phase. In this beginning warm-up, I am actually doing a new circuit that I will be adding to the THPStrength inventory on TeamBuilder. So if you guys are a THP athlete, you will probably do this circuit if you have back pain. And so essentially what the circuit is it is a isometric or almost quasi-isometric progression for your back. And so if we read research on spine health, what we basically conclude or come to the conclusion of is that your spine is not a propeller or propulsive means of moving you either upwards, forwards, side to side, whatever it is, right? Your spine is not meant to propel you. That is what your hips are for, your knee extensors, your calves. That is their purpose. And so what we are doing here is we're actually trying to get the athlete capable of stabilizing forces. And so I like this new setup because you can kind of progress it by either adding more weight on the farmer's walks or using the bands with a pull-off press and kind of increasing time, but also intensity, which is really hard when you just do the standard McGill Big Three. So I'll be throwing this into some of the workouts. So if you guys are a THPStrength athlete and you have maybe a workout where you need a little bit of help with back pain, this will hopefully be added in. Anyways, so I got into the workout pretty quick here. I was a little bit short on time and that made the workout way freaking harder. I had to do step ups and I was doing sets of 10, but I was doing 5 sets and it's 10 each leg. So that's a ton of time under tension, regardless of even though you're switching. It's just a lot of time to be like under load. And even though it was belt squat, my legs were so freaking roasted after this. So I did 10 on the right, 10 on the left, repeated that 5 times. So basically 20 reps. So I got like 100 reps of these pit shark step ups. And on this note, I want to just say, like, some of you guys probably watch this and you're like, oh, if only I had this, or if only I had this. Like, I would not recommend copying my workouts. They are highly catered because I am a really unique individual. And it's kind of the beauty of what I get to do for work is I get to, develop and, program workouts for people that are kind of in the same position as me. Maybe they have back pain, they have Achilles pain, maybe they have knee pain and back pain, maybe they have like whatever cluster of issues as far as like injuries or movement deficiencies. I get to write their workouts accordingly. So I just want to add that because I feel like some people are probably copying these workouts and just think, oh, I'm just going to like hammer away at these. This is like just not a drop in the bucket, but it's just one part. And I don't want you guys to just willy-nilly copy them and think like, oh, this is going to like lead to insane gains. They're good workouts. And if you have access to like all the stuff I do, great. But I do make a lot of concessions for myself because I'm not a traditional athlete. I don't know anyone that has hips that are as bad as mine. I would love to be pulling from the floor, on clean pulls. I'd be love to be doing deep squats. I'd love to be doing, whatever lift that I'm not capable of doing because of my hips or, my knees in some cases. They're pretty good at this point. Thank God. I always joke like when my knees get sore, I'm like, oh, thank God I do this for my job. So that said, getting into why I'm doing this, I'm in the 3rd week, and this is really where what I say is kind of applicable to those of you listening. So I am now in the 3rd week, almost 4th probably, kind of blended of loading, and I am doing a lot of volume. So like I said, I'm doing 5 sets here. That is a ton. That is a lot of volume of 10. Typically people do like 2 to 3 sets. I'm really just blasting away at volume, and my back is starting to get a little bit sore because of that. I even though I do belt squats, I think it's just the accumulation of a sharp increase in volume. So I did increase the weight that I was doing in a lot of these exercises as well. So there is a progression there. And typically I wouldn't recommend increasing volume and intensity at the same time, but I kind of know my body pretty well and I know the workarounds. And so I will do that for people if the first week, the overall load is considerably manageable. That said, I got into some sliders here, and honestly, my hamstring feels really freaking good today, and I loaded it basically every day, but I didn't go crazy. And so in the past week, if you guys saw the video of me doing the Nordics, where I did the voiceover, the last video, my hamstrings got fried from that, and they actually probably had a little bit of a strain. And then I came in on Monday and I did sprints. I didn't show you guys that, but I didn't do sprints actually, I did dribbles, which is something that I adopted from Altus when I was there in 2015 with all these, Olympic athletes and stuff. And my hamstring got a little bit flared up when I was going over the calf actually, but I was just turning it over really, really quick. And so your hamstring pulls in sprinting on the, basically the knee unfolding at terminal knee extension, meaning like at the end of the knee extension right before touchdown. Anyways, then I, kind of came into Tuesday, did a little bit of work, but not a lot on my hamstring because it was just like a circuit day. So I did super light, like single leg RDLs. You guys probably saw that on my Instagram story. And then today came in and did these sliders and I was playing around with it. I've never really used the sliders too much just because honestly, I don't really have access to a turf and I didn't really have sliders. So you can use like socks and t-shirts, and I've seen tons of people use other stuff, but some people have like rollers or foam rollers or whatever else. But I just used the sliders on the turf today, which is a really nice stimulus for me because it kind of induces the same type of pain that I get when I jump, which is like a downward push also, as well as like a backwards pulling action. And so I've always wanted to use the sliders, but typically double leg sliders are too easy. And I'd never really tried single leg slides. And obviously like the coefficient of friction between the slider and the turf is gonna make it harder or easier. And then how far you come out. But I tried a bunch of different variants of it. Tried it supported on my knee, the free leg. Tried it just the free leg up in the air. And honestly, like really, really liked it a lot. Probably gonna start integrating those more, but especially when I'm just trying to accumulate volume. It's honestly very appropriate because you can kind of like cater the exercise selection accordingly, but I can't go super crazy like I typically would like in the case of the Nordics and maybe overdo it. So that's something big I'm learning, is not to load the strength work for my hamstrings too intensely because I'm getting so much hamstring work through sprinting and jumping. So I still do it, and obviously I think getting strong is super important, but I tend to overdo it. And so trying to find that balance, 2 to 3 sets after the session has been really, really good. And then if I'm not sprinting, then I'll go as high as 4 or 5. Anyways, then I got into some calf raises on the pitch arc. Again, my back has been a little bit sore. I drove to West Virginia last week to see my cousin, to dog sit, and that drive kind of flared it up a little bit. I always recommend putting a water bottle under your low back, but I had like I don't even know what it was. The cheapo ones are the best ones, like the dollar ones that you get from like anywhere, basically. But I got like I don't even know, they're like the tube ones, Life Water maybe? I don't remember what it's, Smart Water, that's what I had. And it just did not help my back that well because the bottle was too small. And then I got a longer one and that also didn't work. So the ones that are like very soft almost, you can just push in them and they like make the crunchy noise. Those are the best ones I've found. So I did my calf raises. Then I actually did tippy toe calf raises. So if you guys saw, I was like on a single leg pushing all the way up. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to strengthen my peroneals, which help you to fully plantar flex up on your tippy toe and flex your toes. It's kind of like curling your toes. But it also is helping your foot go into pronation, which is really important when you jump because there's rotational forces. So I like to do them at the end of, kind of when my calves start to get fatigued. I did double leg calf raises, which I almost never do, but added those in at the end. Felt really good. Calves were kind of pumped up, which I almost never have because I don't do that many sets usually. And my calves are really, really strong. So really good stimulus there. And then I got into some single leg, I guess these are kind of like single leg decline belt squats. And I love this exercise for 1 foot jumpers. And the reason why is because one, it's really easy to balance. So I've seen people do like with a barbell and like do the step downs, but this one you can definitely control a lot more easily. And then you can also put your foot further up or down in terms of the angle. And so I really like that because I'm able to get a little bit more of a stimulus on my patella tendon and then also on the quad. And the step ups were loading my hips really well, but I didn't really have much of a stimulus on my actual quad. So I wanted to do something a little bit extra. So I added those in and I only did 2 or 3 sets. I didn't want to blow up my knee because obviously that too much volume is a recipe for disaster, but I did want to get a strength stimulus that was specific to 1 foot jumping. So we'll see, I might play around with those. It seems like a pretty good stimulus, like sliding my foot the whole way off. Anyways, that's the video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the comment section. And as always, THPStrength.com if you are looking for the best jump, performance, speed, power coaching on the planet. Peace out, guys.